It's about that time. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. It is the ALLSWELL Lifestyle Show. I'm Teemaree. I make transformation easy with products, practices, and coaching. And ultimately, people that come and work with me like to feel, gain, and receive power, success, and love. So this is what I'm about, like on a cellular level. So believe every Monday when we get together for the ALLSWELL Lifestyle Show, I am super stoked because we get to share brand new things that help us to feel good and be empowered. So today, we are going to get into pretty much bridging the gap and becoming aware of all the delicious ways that we are alike and yet different, and why it's so wonderful to celebrate these things, and why it's so wonderful to just bridge the gap, and how that can help us to feel good and be empowered amidst things we are not used to and don't understand. So as you can tell, I'm pretty excited about this whole thing here. And I just can't help myself. This Friday was pretty spectacular because we had a lot of snowfall, and two different neighbors of mine ended up clearing snow for us, like just clearing it away. And they weren't asked. It was just something that I kind of walked out and saw. And I was so moved by this because really bridging the gap and growing myself to be the type of person that extends a relationship and really truly has a relationship with my neighbors is something that's super important to me. And I just felt it so much on Friday. It was really, really cool to be able to come out. First there was one neighbor that was using their snowblower to clear our whole sidewalk, and I had stuff to do. And so I wasn't going to be able to do the driveway and stuff until a little bit later. And then when I was ready to come out and clear it myself, another neighbor had already done it. And I saw them outside and was able to say, "Hey, thank you so much." It was wonderful. Now, this is available to us all the time, but I'll tell you firsthand, that wasn't always available to me in my experience, and I didn't realize how much I was a part of that. Being raised in Los Angeles, the city of angels, I'm used to this huge, sprawling metropolis of sorts, where even if you're in the valley or the suburbs in different areas, we really do have somewhat of an isolated kind of experience. And when we do engage with one another, because it's a city where many transplants come, it isn't odd to be surrounded by people who may come and go, and you may come and go as well. So this is new to me, and it's a way that I'm extending it into my life and into my practice. And what I wanted to kind of enjoy together today is the opportunity to see how we are different and the same. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to hear some great music from around the world. I'm really excited about this. And I hope that, if you're from any of these places, please do comment, reach out to me, tweet me, send me a message on my website, teemaree.com. Or if you're not and you felt a certain way by listening to the songs we're going to get into, let me know. This is something that I enjoy very, very much. And going into the first one, we'll talk a little bit about Italy. So Italy is a wonderful, beautiful place. It's a place that I've been. Brazil is seemingly a wonderful, beautiful place. I've seen many majestic shots of Christ the Redeemer and all the terraced, beautiful places, but I have never been to Brazil. One thing I really love is I have a Hispanic background, and so I can speak Spanish. When we went to Italy, I really loved the musicality and the gorgeousness of their language. Now, when you go to Brazil, they speak Portuguese, which is a fusion of a few different languages that includes like an Italian and Spanish sounding flair. So it's something that I've been very excited about. It's a way that I'm able to see that these different regions have commonalities and very big differences. And so it might seem like it's so obvious, right? But is it really obvious? Here I am in a brand new neighborhood. And for the first time ever, I'm already building relationships. We've only been here a few months. And, well, I believe in being forever young, honey. I'm not in my 20s anymore. So let me just tell you that I've lived in a lot of neighborhoods and I'm just now experiencing this. What commonalities can we find? What similarities can we find? And even more importantly, how can we look at our differences in a way that intrigues us and that makes us feel like, wow, that's cool or beautiful or interesting? Let's take a listen and see what we feel with this song. Oh my goodness. Okay, can we just talk a little bit about that? I don't know about you, but for me, I enjoy seeing the similarities and the differences. What I loved when I listened to that was listening to how, there were sounds and things that I recognized from American music, American hip hop, American R&B or pop, but I also just love the musicality of the language and the way the emotion comes through. So it's different yet the same. And what's really cool is that when I was initially looking for music from around the world, and discovering, I'm like, wow, how cool, how much similarity there is while there are differences. And this correlates in so many different ways because, for instance, when I was looking for the music, I wasn't sure what I'd find. I just know that I love Portuguese and I know that I'm interested in Brazil. So I looked it up and I found this song and I thought, wow, this is cool and interesting. It's similar, it's familiar, but different. And how can we translate this into our lives? I mean, things aren't always what they seem. And that's just such a beautiful, cool revelation. Like, honestly, for instance, not just with my neighbor's story, but in other relationships that I've seen. There's a couple of stories I gotta share with you because they were huge insights to me. And I just want to share because maybe this will help or kind of put things into perspective wherever you're at. And you can feel good and empowered when things don't necessarily match up to what we think. Now, granted, we could look into something and be interested the way I was looking for that track where you're actively looking out and saying, what's cool, what's different about this new thing, this new person, this new location, area. But sometimes we're just expecting to receive what we're used to, right? We're just expecting to essentially, if I smile, that person will smile. If I say hello, that person will say hello. And what happens and how do we feel when that doesn't happen? A big one is when we do something for someone and they don't seem grateful. I don't know about you, I'm looking forward to transcend into a place where that does not affect me at all, but it still does sometimes. Two different stories where I totally just, my head and heart were blown open in a good way. Well, the first one was I was working at a job and I made it a point. I really wanted to go to work every day and try in some small way to be a blessing. And so one of the things was just trying to spread as much positivity as I could, which included saying hi and being welcoming and offering a smile. And I remember, this was a challenging work environment. And there were a couple of individuals that multiple times I would say hi or smile at them or literally say something directly to them and nothing. Oh my gosh, nothing. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, it's one thing if a person doesn't smile back, but if they don't respond to you at all, I had always chalked that up to mean that they don't like you. And so this was a little story I had kind of had in my mind. They just don't like me, or they don't care about me or they don't notice me, whatever, fill in the blank. All of those things did apply. Needless to say, as I was having that experience, later on down the line, I kept on doing my thing, which was a huge growth point for me because normally I would have just retreated as soon as I'd seen that. You know, I'm vulnerable. I got a sensitive heart over here, friends. But this time, for some reason, I just kept saying hi whenever I'd see them. It wasn't all the time, but when I would see them, I'd say hi. Nothing, hi, nothing. Come to find out many months later that those two people were largely responsible for trying to get me a promotion. At the time, this was in the entertainment industry, which was they were pushing for me to get a role on the show. What? I never would have expected that. Now, because it was entertainment and a couple of things with the creative process, the role didn't end up happening in the script. But had it happened, I would have gotten it because those two people that I thought didn't even like me at all were actually pushing and championing for me. Oh my gosh, things aren't always what they seem. That country that may seem foreign, those people that may seem wild, that music that you think just off the top you won't understand or feel because it's in another language, well, gosh, there's just so much there for us. One brief story before we go into our next song is another time this happened to me. I remember living in a place where it was a small building. There was one laundry room and we would pass neighbors sometimes. And I remember seeing a woman and I would say hi and hi and hi and hi. And again, she just wouldn't even look my way. Nothing. I wondered, I'd never really seen her before. Why would she have a problem with me? This was even before the story that I just shared. Needless to say, I came to find out later that she couldn't hear me. She just couldn't hear me. Man, I felt so silly. This whole time I was building a story that she didn't like me or she was maybe a mean lady, and she just couldn't hear me, guys and gals. Wow. Listen, things aren't always what they seem, and this is exciting and beautiful. We can be totally childlike in the way we approach this, and granted, we're human. Sometimes our feelings will get hurt or we'll start to build a story, but ultimately, when we look at things with a sense of joy and wonder, then we open up to all kinds of cool possibilities that help us to feel good and feel empowered no matter what. So now, we're going to go ahead and travel to another place. And I'm not going to tell you where this song is from until after. I know that the sound had me thinking it was from one place, and it's not from that place at all. Let's see what you think. Oh my goodness, I really do enjoy that song very much. And I'll tell you something. I originally discovered that organically, and I had imagined that the song was from these like island artists. It just has that sound. I imagined myself in the Caribbean somewhere or some cool far off spot. And lo and behold, those artists, that producer, they're from the UK. Oh, how glorious is this? Oh, I was so happy to discover that. I mean, it just goes to show, like us, if we think about how we are, if we think about all the facets of ourselves and how we have all these different aspects, then it just is kind of like a no-brainer when we think about it for someone else, right? But for some reason, I don't know about you, it's just so easy to kind of, I don't know, maybe put people in a singular box sometimes, artists, celebrities, anyone really. So it's really interesting to be able to awaken, to these discoveries, because it does allow us to feel this sensation of like joy and wonder, which automatically offers happiness. I mean, it really does. I know that right now, things are new. And also when I travel, so like I've moved to this new place, we've only been here 3 months. And then also when I travel, I can't help it. I am just such an amplified version of my best self when I'm traveling because everything is new. And I just am like, I don't want to sleep in. I want to see it all. I want to meet people. I want to eat everything. I'm so excited. And so I offer this wonderful, joyous practice to us today as we find the commonalities and the luxurious differences that we have. And rather than see them as something that's maybe scary or unapproachable or confusing, we can say, oh, dude, that's kind of cool. What else is going on over there? Like, let's check this out because the world is such a beautiful, magnificent place. And there's just so much available to us when we are able to just be in this thought process of discovery. And especially with people, which is something that I'm really working hard to do more and more, not just for my coaching and my empowerment products and practices, but just on a human level. Like, I want to be with you. You know what I mean? Like, really be with you. I want to see you. I want to know what's going on in your world. And so this is an exciting, wonderful opportunity that we all have all the time. And I'm just so excited to be able to just kind of consider that today. Now, we're about to travel somewhere else. This wonderful song comes to us from Italy. Oh, what do y'all think? Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, we just went to Italy. Oh man, it's a really exciting thing to discover that we have all these delicious differences. And, if you're just working on figuring that out and accepting that for yourself, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it is a process. Even within us, we have different, wonderful, delicious, amazing things that are different and we might have judgments on. So, hey, we can take this and we can apply it to ourselves, and we can certainly apply it when we are looking out at our brothers and sisters, our friends, our families, our neighbors, our fellows here on earth. And we can look and say, hey, what's going on over there? From a place of wonderment and joy. So listen, it is time for the PowerPoint. Woohoo! The point is that technology can take us wherever we want to go. So we can broaden our horizons by listening, by watching, by connecting with others, like truly connecting, because now it's only a button away. So I'm going to do this with music. And I'm also going to do this in engaging in conversations, with as many people as I can. How are you going to try it? Definitely tweet me, email me, send me message, comment. Let me know. How are you going to try to connect? And new means learning. And learning means alive. Okay, so you heard it here first. That's the recipe to the fountain of youth. Woohoo! Okay, right here on the ALLSWELL Lifestyle Show, the fountain of youth. All we got to do is just keep learning. That keeps us alive. That newness, that freshness is what keeps us alive and filled with wonder and joy. And then look, what makes us different is what makes us beautiful. And that may sound cliche or corny or weird, especially if you're in a situation where people have not told you that. If people have smacked you down because you're different. But I'm here to tell you, you're just in the wrong room right now, okay? You're just in the wrong room, because what makes us beautiful is our differences, and our similarities make us family. We are all family here. And so, it's wonderful to be able to explore, enjoy, and engage in that way. Adventure awaits us. I just love it. I'm super stoked about it because I love adventure, and we don't even need an indie hat. We could just make it happen. right here and right now. You ready? I sure am. Now, this is a bonus song that I don't normally do, but we had to do it because I feel it encapsulates that fantastic adventure and wonder that awaits for us. Check it out. Oh my goodness. Okay, if that does not make a case for us to get some wonder into our life, I really don't know what will. I'm telling you, this has been a fantastic Monday. Fantastic time with you here on the Allswell Lifestyle Show. I hope that you are feeling good and empowered as you go out there and search with wonder for the commonalities and the differences that make each of us so incredibly grand, that make this world such a beautiful place to be alive in today, this moment, this minute. My name is Teemaree. I make transformation easy with products, practices, and coaching, and I would love to connect with you in the multitude of ways that I have available. Please come to my website, teemaree.com, so we can connect. TEEMAREE.com. And I encourage you to sign up to my email list. I've had people asking me about the playlist of the songs, and you will certainly get that if you sign up, along with a bunch of other wonderful things. So this is it. I've gone over. I can't help myself. I just love feeling good, being empowered, and sharing with you. So I got to wrap up now, unfortunately, but I'll tell you what, we're going to do this again, same place, same time next week. So join on with me, and let's feel good and be empowered together. Talk to you soon. Bye, friends. I want to